It's Murphy, Sham, and Jody after the show podcast.
Did you say Murphy, Sham, and Jody?
I don't know. I might have.
I thought he said Smurfy, Sam, and Jody.
We've been at it all morning
I
here, so I
know.
guess I'm getting tired.
You're just sleepy.
I actually wanted to share something on today's After the Show podcast that we probably couldn't do in the regular show. Not because kids can't hear it or anything like that. There's nothing obscene about it. It might be embarrassing if it were broadcast versus being on a podcast that we only have 2 listeners for. Just kidding. All right. Just kidding.
So you figured out I don't listen.
Yeah. So, but it's, and I'll start, before I get to the story, this is actually something that happened when we were at my dad's birthday dinner the other day. But before we get
at the
to
hibachi restaurant.
Yes, it was the hibachi restaurant. And even Jody doesn't know that this happened yet because I can't, and I know that I should not tell Jody these kinds of things at dinner. Jody I'm talking like she's not here. So you're very... you're a visual thinker.
Yes.
So if somebody says something that's kind of gross at dinner time when you're sitting there and you're eating, it's very repulsive for Jody. And even the simplest of things, it literally, she can't handle it. Even the girls joking about some things at the table. It's like, why do we have to talk about that?
Yeah.
You can't talk about things that smell bad. You can't talk about anything that's really gross. If you found something in the yard that you stepped in, don't talk about that at the table.
No. While
I wouldn't talk about that
my
at the table
imagination
anyway.
is
right.
110% on all the time.
Or,
so,
wow, that must be hard, Murphy. Because it's like, I know me, when we're around with the kids, it's no holds barred.
Well, but you can't even. It's simple conversation. But if it relates to the subject, if you tell Jody, "I'll be right back to sit down. I've got to go grab a plunger," she's going to get grossed out by it.
Hang on, let me write that one down for future use.
Yeah, please don't give him ammunition.
Right, and then
I'm sorry. At a dinner table, when you are eating, that is intensely personal, and it involves almost all of the senses. Mm-hmm. You smell it, you see it, you taste it. Okay,
you step in it.
It's a very overly sensory experience, and I'm very my imagination. I can't help it. If you say plunger, I think I feel it.
Yeah, well, and it's like, I appreciate that about you because you have classic values. I know that it's kind of a personal reaction, but right? Isn't it kind of nice in 2019 to say that's not appropriate for the dinner table?
Of course,
but there are some things, like we went to Jody and I went to eat at a restaurant a couple of days ago, and we got out of the car. I don't know what was going on out there, but it smelled bad. I don't know if it was a burst pipe.
You parked near a ditch.
Yeah, I did.
And wait, I'm just walking in going, oh my gosh, and we're on our way in, but right before the door. Tell him what you said.
Yeah, well, I just wasn't thinking. I said, wow, that's pungent. It smells like raw sewage. And
table for 2?
Like, you don't have to say it. Like, don't say it.
And she did. And I realized that. I said, wow, I know better than to do that, Jody, because that conjures up a visual for Jody.
Yeah.
Not just a visual, but
now it's over there in that ditch.
It's not on the plate.
I can't even order a salad.
Yeah.
So
this salad's kind of pungent.
Yeah. So I respect that. I understand that. And
thank you for knowing it about me. Like, it would have been difficult probably for me to be the mother of boys. We have both girls, Taylor and Phoebe, and they're not too, you know what I'm saying?
They act like boys every now and then.
Sometimes at the table, but they know how I feel about it. They're like, if Mom's gone, I'll tell you the story, Dad.
I'll never invite you over then. Well, Jackson and Parker.
I've heard about what boys are like, little boys.
Well, and just little things that Jody wants to hear, like, such and such got sick at school today. She didn't want to hear that at the table either.
Yeah.
I'm too visual. Maybe I should just control my own mind a little more.
But I understand that. Again, there are things you just don't talk about. I've got that reflex thing too, where while I'm eating, man, there are places you can't go. But so here's what happened at dinner.
However,
here's what happened at my dad's birthday dinner that Jody doesn't know about.
Everybody know about it but me?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that my brother-in-law Jason knew because he was the one that helped move a chair.
Okay.
But you didn't see that happen. And I heard the discussion and I heard a waitress go, she says, okay, I'll take it outside right now. I'm like, okay, whatever this is can't be good.
What was it?
It was the chair.
Which chair?
And apparently, one of the, it wasn't
near me?
No, it was across from you, and it wasn't in our family. At hibachi, you wound up seated with a bunch of people, right? And so, one of the kids who was sitting on the other side had a little accident in the chair.
Oh,
Yeah.
So what does your mind tell you right now,
and so
Jody?
that's why I
Yeah.
didn't say that because I didn't want it to take further because as it was told to me was. It was like, yeah, and it's not just that it's wet. It's like, okay, that's disgusting. That is
who
gross.
said that?
Huh?
Who said that to you?
I heard the waitress say that. It wasn't our waitress. It was she was telling her coworker, and they were just talking about. That's why they were trying to They were trying to discreetly get the chair out really fast.
That would have been me not eating. That would have been me going, I don't feel great. I don't feel great.
Okay, ma'am, chicken or shrimp?
Yeah.
So yeah, I just did not. That's why I didn't tell you until
Awesome.
now.
Thank you
Man.
for that.
Did
Thank
you
you
see
so
it,
much
Murphy?
For that.
No, and it wasn't. I mean, they handled the whole thing very discreetly, and I'm glad. Obviously, they didn't want to embarrass the family. I felt badly for them too. I mean, that reminds me of the time that Jodi and I.
Well, I know what you're about to say.
Well, we were at a birthday party,
Yes.
and it was a swimming party. And
It was an indoor swimming pool too.
And if you've ever seen Caddyshack,
Yes!
it was that.
The baby Ruth scene.
It was that moment. They made everybody clear out of the pool, and I'm the idiot there going, "Hey, what's going on?" And of course, I got the camcorder, and I spot it, and I find it and zoom in.
Shark!
Wait, that was one of my dear friend's child's birthday party, and she don't even bring that up to
Sam,
her.
here's what's bad about it. There were about 4 of us pointing our cameras at it.
All dads. It was all dads.
Please stop doing
Wait,
that.
and do you remember one of the dads? On the way out, he couldn't. Sam, you would have loved it. He was like, "This was my number 2 favorite party ever." And my friend was like, "This is all anybody's ever going to remember about this party."
That was the party where,
Yeah. Anyway, but thank you for going back. Thank you for knowing me well enough to.
Yeah, I just wanted to spare
I
you
get
that, and
easily
I will. That's
grossed
we've
out.
been married long enough now. I mean, if I don't have your back and you don't have mine, something's wrong, right?
Exactly.
So after 20 years, I should
How
know not to
sweet
gross
you
Jodi
are.
out.
Yeah.
That's why you freak out whenever I bring out my rubber roaches. I mean, they're just rubber.
I'm super sensitive, sensory. I guess I don't know how to describe it, but you described it well. If
The
you
visual.
say it, I feel it, see it.
Yeah, you can't
it's
be
happening.
too descriptive, or Jodi's going to gross out.
Well, Murphy, you got any more of those stories?
I
He's
think
got
those
a
are
bunch.
2 good ones right there. And they were both, my number 2 favorites.
Stop.
Number 1 and 2.